Hey guys, how you doing? Whoa, my voice just broke there really quite badly. Welcome back. I've just got back from Ireland yesterday, and before I did the vlog up this afternoon, I just thought I would do a nice little short flight from Washington DC to New York's JFK Airport. So today we're on board American 458 Heavy. So not Heavy, 458. We're a Boeing 737-800 with winglets in the TWA retro livery. As I said, we're on the ground at Washington's Reagan Airport. The stand we arrived on last time is like literally that one there, I think. There's that statue which I still haven't, I think it's the Lincoln Memorial, I think that's what it's called. And there's the Capitol. And I think that's probably the White House. Just to give you an idea of the layout here. So we are pretty much in downtown DC. Today it's a 200-mile short hop from Washington to New York. We're going to quickly initialize our route now. KDCA KJFK. Now we'll do the departures. I'm going to just do the departure from runway 19er, and then I'll look at my PFPX to work out what the departure actually is called. So we're looking for the Doctor 2. There we go. Route, activate, execute, and next page. So after Doctor, we're going to be off. Well, we're going from Agard to Victor 44. To Agard. It's 1-0. Victor 44. And for Victor 44, it's to a place called Speak. Literally normal speak word. And then direct SIE, which is, I would imagine, Sea Island. I'll just check my likes page to see how that looks. Yeah, that's actually exactly the right way. We're flying in a roughly easterly direction, and then from there it's the Cameron 4 SID into JFK. So arrival, we'll do a. What I'll do is I'll insert the Cameron 4, and then I want to do a visual approach. So I'm not going to insert any of this because I've got the nice scenery for JFK. Okay, so we'll just do the fuel now because we've already inserted the payload. For today's flight, I'm just going to do my destination alternate as being KLGA, LaGuardia Airport. That was one of my first ever flights, was actually from there on this channel. So we did LaGuardia to Chicago, sweet home, Chicago. So I've got a released fuel of 5 tons. Which is precisely 10,000 pounds of gas. There we go. That's us topped up. Everything else in here, actually we do V-speeds, don't we? We do 0 fuel weight. I'll get it from here because it's different to what the, well, it's 124.1. Oh well, 124.1. Look at the paperwork, pretending to anyway. 2.5 is our final reserve unburnable. 85 is cost index. Trip altitude, according to the flight planner, is 17,000. So it's quite a low flight today. Because in the US, the transition's 18,000. That sounds reasonably okay. I'm going to go N1 limit. We'll risk the D rate. We'll see how that goes. Flaps 5. Yeah, that's perfectly alright for a D rate. And we'll just input the CG the cheap way. I'm just going to put a jumper on because it's actually getting quite cold in this room. The jumper's way over here. And I'm back. So we've got this done. That is activated. Takeoff page is fully initialized. Climb mode, cruising altitude is 17,000. That looks accurate. Take speeds, that's pretty accurate too. I want max angle of climb, but we'll just leave it the way it is because it's pretty clever in what it does. 163 knots is our initial climb speed according to the system, so I can stick that in there now. After that, yep, we've got to go back to the takeoff page and look at the runway heading, which is 185. And our initial altitude is 500 feet, and after that it's 7,500. Okay, I'm actually going to put this jumper on now, and then we'll be getting ready for pushback. So what I can do whilst I'm putting the jumper on is go APU is going on, fuel pumps are all on, hydraulics B's are on, pitot heats are on, that's all as required, yaw damper is on, and flight altitude today, as I said, is 17,000 feet. AP is nearly online, which is good. AP bleeds off, engine bleeds are off, packs are off, recircs can come on. Right, I'm going to just wait for us to get good power on the APU, and then I'll connect to the bleed air system. And the reason I'll connect that is just obviously so we can start engines. So we're literally waiting for the APU gen off bus to light up, and that means we can start powering things from the APU. There's the light. I'm still putting this jumper on because I'm inept at things like this. Yeah, there we go. So, APU is now stabilised in temperature. So what I'll do is I'll call GSX in. It appears the Sims decided to crash. I'll call GSX in for the third time. There we go. Prepare for push and departure. Okay, so now that that's happened, I'll just take over power onto the APU. Ground connections. Literally. Parking brake set. Everything else removed. Now I can get rid of that. My handling is going to be American because we are American. America! I'm also leaving my FPS counter in the top right hand corner, just so you can see if it's lag related to you, lag related to the video, or just me lagging. And we want to go nose to the right, tail to the left. I want to start engines during push out. APU bleed comes on, packs stay off, and anti-collision on. Ignition, ground selector 2, starting engine number 2. And N2 is increasing. At 18%, N2, we put the fuel in. It's interesting the amount of variation there is in when you put the fuel in. Some people say as long as it's over 20, some people say at 15. But I found 18 works best for me. Okay, the tug's disappeared under the nose now. So the joystick's going to come onto my knee now, which means I'm going to end up hitting the mic with the leads. That was scary, nearly spilled my kind of rantness. Anyway guys, whilst waiting for GSX to get us ready, we'll go to the external view for a bit. Alright, got that E's plugged in now, so I'm just going to release my park brakes and get pushed out. We'll try the single engine taxi out in this thing. I've never done that before. Anyway, as some of you know, I've just got back, as I told you, I got back from a trip to Ireland for a job interview, and I said, if I get this job, I may not be able to keep making videos for YouTube. Only about 2 of you would actually probably care, and not, nearly enough. But actually, I probably would be a bit sad. But yeah. Anyway, don't worry, I didn't get the job, so I just wasted £300 on a nice little trip to Cork. I'll probably do a trip there once we get back to the UK from when we get to New York. I want to do the flight to either London. I don't want to do London because I want to do it in the 747. So I just bought the iFly 747 a few days ago. So I won't have a go with that. Yeah. As I said, I didn't get the job, which I am upset about it, because, you know, I was only there a few hours, but the other people I met were really amazing, and I would love to have worked with them further, but sadly, it was not to be. Which really is quite sad for me, but yeah, that's the story of my life, really. Right, so number 1 to ground. Set parking brakes. Okay, and N2 is increasing. I'm just going to switch bleed on that engine. That's a good start. Let's open. That's 18%. Fuel on. It's flaps 5, set for departure. That can then go to menu, FMC. Good progress. I find that one tends to be the best. So JFK, things we're actually going to get there. 1710 Zulu, so 40 minutes. It's really quite a short trip, this. Actually, a dodgy afterthought. I've actually turned the seatbelt signs on. No, of course I haven't. Okay, hydraulics, they're both on now. Window heats, they were already on. Pitot heats, they're on. That's engine's still starting, so we'll just swing that one to continuous, this to continuous. Taxi light, turn off lights. I know I said I'd do single engine taxi, but then I decided not to. All the bleeds are on. Packs can come on. APU bleed comes off. Generators come on. APU comes off. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about, apparently. Mouse yoke. Literally, this is the only way to do it. Sometimes it accidentally enters a mode where it basically starts, like, gives me a mouse yoke. Because I use, like, mouse and spacebar to look around this smoothly. And yeah, it just, like, goes into a funny mode. Is he gone? He's gone. Now we can start. Also, auto brakes RTO. Got to be careful because I've noticed I'm chopping some of like what I'm doing off the corners of the cameras. Flight directors are on. That can stay off. Control Shift and G. Toga is armed. LNAV is VNAV. I'll arm that. Okay, I can't arm anything. Auto throttle's armed. And we'll just taxi down. That's runway 19 over there. For those of you who didn't watch my arrival video, I do recommend you go and watch it after this one. Because it was my, I did the visual approach, so twisting and turning down river. Not rocket science, but still pretty good fun. I'm just going to go to the external view to give you a better idea of what the layout of the airfield is. Alright, so that's literally us entering the runway there, so we just need to finish chicane and head off down this way. Or turn right and then head down there. I'll probably turn right. So, whee! U-turn. I turn too for a U-turn. It didn't, no, actually, I'll talk to you more about the Aer Lingus regional experience once we get airborne. So as I say, that's Capitol, that's the White House right there, where Mr. Obama lives. We actually climb out over Andrews, where Air Force One lives. So yeah, it's quite a fame-filled part of the world. At the time going to press, Mr. Obama lives there, but in a year and a bit, I don't know who will live there. I'm just going to trim back now, as I said I would. Okay, my trim's not working, is it? I don't even know. I need more. I need an extra half-degree trim. That's as close as we're going to get it. 5.55 as opposed to 5.49. We'll enter from here. So I think we're allowed to. Yep, we are. Cabin crew, please take your seats. Now I'm going to swing this to on. Reset the viewpoint. Fairly short runner because we're already in the touchdown zone. Okay, 40% in one roughly. Thrust is stable. Toga. Thrust set. 60 knots. 80. Rotate.
V2.
Positive right. Landing gear up. And now arm LNAV. LNAV is still refusing to arm. Why is that? Too low for LNAV? Fletch. Heading select. There we go. Actually, no, it's over now. Now just accelerate a little up to 163 or 183. That's what the aircraft thinks we should be climbing at apparently. VNav, LNav. What I'll actually do is a hand fly for a bit and I'll show you guys the hand flying kind of methods here. So this is control wheel steering mode. So what I've actually done is literally I'm going to fly the flight directors, and I've turned the 737 into an Airbus because it's basically auto trimming for me right now. Which is fairly cool. Oh, wrong way. Flaps up, 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 up. 2. Flaps 1. I'm going to take control of the jet again to make sure it doesn't start doing crazy stuff now. But as you can see, I'm kind of flying the jet and just flying the flight director. I'm not actually looking at anything else except flight directors. And because I've got the CWS here and here, it's basically control wheel steering. So it's like having the autopilot on, because basically it is on. But instead of using the mode control panel to control it, I'm using the yokes to control what the autopilot's doing. Do this. Nice turn, a little bit late into the turn though. And I'll just go flaps up here. It just gives you the idea. Okay, after takeoff, so RTO, well off, flaps up, landing gear is off, landing lights, well I didn't turn those on in the first place, stupid me. I was focusing too much on not over inside the runway, and strobes. It's a clear day, so we'll release the cabin crew. Believe it or not, that is actually Orbex Global. You can see where the photoreal bits are. Okay, so we've now been cleared straight up to our cruising altitude of 17,000 because we're talking to Washington radar. I do want to do this flight in the Dash 8 with as a multi-crew because I haven't actually managed to record multi-crew in the Dash 8. Because first time I did it, we were both trying to see how it worked. That's Mr. Obama's house over there. I Spy. No, that's the Capitol. That's the White House. I don't know. Anyway, Andrews is down there. That's where Air Force One lives, as I said. Anyway, now what I was saying about just hit alt intervention. Oh, are we not an alt hold? No, we're not. We can just hit alt intervention. Then the aircraft just VNavs straight up to 17,000. So anyway, my trip to Ireland. I've got to say, 10 out of 10. The guys and gals who went for the job, the people who got through to the next level, were the people who I thought would get through. I'm kind of a bit disappointed that I didn't get through, but I'm kind of a bit happy as well that I didn't get through. Because I was kind of petrified at the idea of moving to Ireland full time, but then again I wanted it, so it's it's like one of those things. Like it's like literally going out on a bike by yourself for the first time. You're petrified, but you love it. Actually, see if I can add that right in the back. There we go. So yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Sorry for wasting about 20 odd so minutes of your time. Yeah, 20 minutes exactly. So as I say, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll end the video here, and we'll see you all tomorrow for the arrival into New York City. Hell yeah. See ya. Bye.